Welcome back to another episode of Briefs with Brenda, talking more about safety and security. In this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about people and friends of people that work to make sure our schools and our students and our staff are safe. So talk a little bit about our police department here in Red Oak ISD.
Very, very proud of our Red Oak ISD Police Department. We're one of the first that actually had a full department where we actually have a licensed officer on every campus. And that in today's time I think is very important. It's not just important to have them there, but it's also important for our families to feel safe. And they know that we have an officer there with their students. Right. You know, they're always there on their campus. They help work traffic, so the parents see them a lot. You know, they're out there working the traffic. They're in the hallways. They're visible, trying to be proactive to monitor, see if there's any issues that need to be addressed. Building those relationships is so important for the public safety aspect, to build those relationships with our students and with our staff and with our parents and community as a whole. So very, very proactive at Red Oak ISD about making sure that occurs.
One of the things we added along with our police officers is additional security guards.
Of course, our campuses are large, 3-story, at the high school and multi-buildings at the middle school. So there is a need for more eyes, more ears, more visibility so the students and the staff can see them. So we do have security guards that are walking the hallways, that are interacting with the students, that are assisting when there's a need. That's been a great add for both of those campuses as well, just to have that little bit of extra security there.
All of our staff have a Raptor app.
Yes.
We utilize that across the district. Tell us a little bit about how school personnel, from a classroom teacher to a campus secretary, even utilize that to call for a situation, whether it be a hold or secure, or even a lockdown.
Yeah.
And then what that response is and how it closes the loop.
Raptor is a phenomenal app, and it has taken some training and some use to, because like I said, our phones go off a lot when we're having those drills and when we're having those events. The emails go off a lot so that we're notified. Anyone can initiate, as far as staff, that lockdown if they needed to do that. They don't have to wait and call into someone else. Time is precious in those moments. So we have a reunification piece, we have a tracking piece. They can actually say, my students are here, these are the students I'm missing in my classroom, and it allows us as a district and as a campus to be able to track those students, the visitors, the people that are on campus, and actually do the reunification as well. Very beneficial.
It makes that exponentially easier to match up our students and our staff with who they need to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We have MOUs in place for reunification as well. That's one of the things that people talk about. Well, where do you go? Where do you go? Well, we have locations in place. But talk a little bit about one of the other aspects that people have asked us about. Dogs.
Yes.
Do we have dogs that check our campuses, and what are they checking for?
Yes, we have contraband detection dogs, and they do actually check for different types of contraband. They check the hallways. They are unannounced, so they are random. They focus mostly on our high school and our middle school campuses, of course, is where we have that. They detect vapes. They detect drugs, weapons, so that's why we call them contraband detection dogs. We're utilizing them more often than we have in the past, just to make sure we're proactive in those areas. So I know a lot of people say, well, you don't have what they call a drug dog, but yes, we do have one that we contract with. That's proven to be beneficial.
As a whole, Red Oak ISD has invested in safety and security.
Yes.
What do you see going forward as far as personnel goes?
We're a growing district, so I see that we will add more personnel in those areas. Like I said, we have our safety committee meetings. We get a lot of input. We have our different municipalities that come in, our different emergency response teams that come in. We have parents on the committee. We have educators on the committee, board members, and so it's very informational each time we have one of those meetings. We're always getting new ideas. You hear it from other districts. We not only learn from our mistakes, we learn from everyone else's as well. So anytime something goes wrong somewhere, what do? We get better. We learn from that. The valleys is where we actually pick up and move forward on. We have some different things that we're looking at with safety grants going forward. Film on the windows. We're looking at, is there a need for fences? Is there a need for additional security cameras? Is there a need for different personnel? We actually added someone this past year who actually can watch the cameras, and because they need to be watched, and help monitor the events that are occurring. If we hear something's happened on the 3rd floor at the high school, then we have someone that can actually focus in and do that. So always looking for new ways just to keep our kids safe and our staff safe.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.